my name is Tatenda and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get into this pumpkin spice vanilla latte or orange kind of makeup look. For this tutorial, I'm going to be talking a bit less about the products and more about technique. As usual, all the products will be listed down below. I take my skin prep very, very seriously. A hydrated base is the key to longevity in makeup, to making sure your makeup sits really well. I've also had my makeup done professionally a few times, and they actually really take their time working in any moisturizers or primers into my skin beforehand. I recently went to Sephora and my holy grail products was back in stock. This is the Natasha Denona Skin Glass Serum and I absolutely love it. Am I using too much? Yes. Do I care? Probably not. Also, I was noticing my hands were really shaky and then I realized that it was the coffee that I had in the morning. Anyway, we're back with really working the product in, and this skin glass really gives you a nice glow. I love it when I'm not wearing makeup, but even underneath makeup, it's amazing. This is my Clinique Serum Foundation, and my favorite types of foundations are one that has skincare elements, and this one is just really beautiful. It feels lightweight, and it also has hyaluronic acid in it, which is also very hydrating. So it's a great foundation to wear during the day. I also have been using this brush that I got when I got Makeup by Mario products sent to me, and I just really love how it works on my skin. I apply and blend out my foundation or whatever product in short spurts, if that makes sense, like dabbing or like short brushing, just to make sure that I'm working it into every section of my face as evenly as possible. And then I don't put any foundation directly on my forehead. I just use like the excess or whatever's left, just because I end up putting concealer, as you can see, on my forehead and bronzer. So I'm like, I don't really need to put that much on there as well. Also, the other side of this brush is like kind of a smaller triangle, and it's really perfect for getting into your eyes. Okay, this is a new technique that I've been doing lately. When you are doing your waterline or you need to pull a certain part of your face, use a brush or the same kind of tool that you use to apply maybe your concealer, just to like pull your face so it's not your hands, so you don't ruin your makeup, if that makes sense. I know this Milani Cosmetics concealer is light, but that is why I put it on after I put on a medium brown, and then I go on top with a light brown. And as you can see, it really just blends well into my skin and just brightens up my eye area, because I love that kind of brightened look. As you can see, I actually take my time. I usually take more time, but I was in a hurry. But you can have the most amazing eyeshadow and horrible base and it'll just ruin your whole look. So obviously today we're going orange. I have only two orange kind of products. This is actually a lip tint, the one I'm showing you now, from Innisfree. And then the other side is from Nude Sticks, I believe, and it is in the shade Picante. All of the products in the shade will be listed down below, as I said. The Picante shade was a bit more deep and warm, and the Innisfree was a little bit more brighter as well. To be honest, I'm not really sure what I was doing here. I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to apply the product, because I don't usually put product or like a stick straight onto my face. I like to use a brush that will give me a more controlled application. This is my Morphe 5D face palette, and I realized that there was an orange there, but for some reason I wanted my orange to pop a bit more, so I put the tint straight onto my eyes and kind of blended it out with a brush. If I'm going to be very honest with you, most of the time I'm quite lazy with my eyeshadows. I'll do one all over color like this and then go in with the same colors that I use for my contour / bronzer, and then just do a literal circle on the edge of my eye, and that kind of makes it look like you put a lot of effort when you actually haven't. And I always get compliments on my eye looks or my makeup looks whenever I do this to any color really. So for the next part, we are going back with the brush for a more precise look. Another way to make your makeup looks pop is to bring your eyeshadow color down to like the bottom of your eyes, so underneath your waterline. Just makes it look more, I guess, cohesive and a little bit more artsy. So I made a little mistake here, but it's okay, because I have the same brush that I use with my concealer to just kind of blend it in and out and away, so that it's as if it never happened. Now we're going in with my first application of blush. With liquid blush, I've been liking applying it first, like on my cheeks before I put powder on, and then also on top of the powder. I don't know why I do it. I just like it, and I like how it looks. Once again, this is a lip tint, but I often use the same product all over. So whether it is a liquid blush or it is a lip product, I will use it on my lips, on my cheeks, on my eyes. And I just really love how it can all be the same color and it's just really cohesive. Here's a tip. If you're ever applying liquid blush and you feel like you've put too much on, blend it out with a brush because the brush will pick up a good chunk of the product and will actually make it look softer than it would have if you blended it out with your fingers. I personally struggle with powder puffs, so I do like to use like a dense packed brush to like pack on whatever powder I'm using. In hindsight, I probably would have used my Fenty Invisimatte powder for this look just because it's more neutral. Well, obviously it's like translucent, so it wouldn't really have messed with the orange, but it shows up a little bit yellow in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll take notes and apply them next time. The only part of my face that I actively contour these days are my nose, just to like enhance the features. I usually just apply bronzer around my cheeks and my forehead to add color into my face. This time I went a little bit darker because I was kind of going for a little bit more of an espresso look. And when you are contouring your nose, make sure you shade all the way up into your brows, otherwise it's kind of ends up being like a harsh line that just stops. We want everything to be smooth. Here I am applying the blush again, but this time I'm blending it out with my fingers. This technique really works if you want to kind of do a gradient blush that's more intense in the middle and then fades out towards the edges. Onto my brows. I go through different eras with my brows. Sometimes like the end is shaved off when I do a straight brow, but lately, especially since I got my brows laminated, the lamination has faded, so you can't really tell. I've been liking doing just fluffy natural brows, filling in the sparse areas and going with the general shape of my brow. And once I fill it in, I go back and brush it out again just to make it look a little bit more natural and not as harsh. I really had to psych myself up for the eyeliner because my hands were still shaking from the coffee. But I have been, so you can see I kind of like adjusted the angle of my face because I'm following the line. You know when like your eyes make a kind of wrinkle when your eyes are open? I'm following that line for my eyeliner and I've only recently started doing it and I really like how it looks. So now my eyeliner kind of goes down instead of up. I don't know if this is a new technique, but I spend a good chunk of time on my lashes. This is probably about 30 seconds or 45 seconds on just the one side. I apply my lashes, I apply my mascara, and then I also like blink it through. So instead of just keeping my eye open and applying it, I blink it through so that it goes to every single section, every fiber of my lash hairs. And I also look down instead of up because that way you don't end up getting mascara on your eyelids. And also that's what the makeup artists do, and my mascara always turns out really nice when they do it. Now we are on to the freckles. I've been using a dark contour like liquid to be applying my freckles. Psych myself up again because like my hands are shaky. To apply my freckles because I find that it lasts longer than using a powder. So as you can see, I'm just using a bobby pin, dabbing it on. I'm sorry, it got a little bit blurry. I didn't know how to fix it, but here we are. You can kind of see what I'm doing and you can see the freckles applying. So I apply it first with a bobby pin and then dab it as kind of like a stamp with my fingers. If you're wondering what freckles look like with black powder or black liquid, wonder no more because I have tried it and it does not look good at all. So find a dark brown if you can. That tip was specifically for the dark skin girlies. So obviously I had to go in with the iconic shimmer. I don't think I've ever used an actual highlighter for highlighting. I just love using eyeshadows just because they're so pigmented and they're so much more shimmery than any highlighter I've ever used. If you have any highlighter recommendations or any ones that you want me to try, let me know. Applying your inner corner highlight with a brush is much better than doing it with your fingers. With your fingers, there's less control and it kind of gets all over the place. So then I set it again with my Flawless Finish setting spray. This is the Too Faced lip pencil and it is plumping. I don't really use it for the plumping effects because I don't really need it, but the shade is just really, really beautiful. I also love that you can kind of click the pen out so that with pencils, I find that I'm always like breaking the tips off, but this one, the tips are protected. So I honestly don't really use lip pencils to like line my lips. I kind of fill them up like 70%. And then this is like, it's been the hero product of this makeup look. This is the lip tint. And one thing that I've realized with lip colors, just to make sure they blend well, is to use your fingers. I've tried using a brush, but I feel like fingers work really well because it kind of warms the product in between your lips. And that way I found that my lips don't look creasy over time. It just sits in really nicely and it also fades really well, especially if you're going out for dinner or for drinks or something like that. And then as you can see, I put a bit of more concentrated, unblended product in the middle so that it had that really nice gradient effect. And this is where the Espresso comes in on the lips. This is like my go-to lip gloss to put on top of anything. It's the Hot Chocolate brown lip gloss. Every girl needs a brown lip gloss in their repertoire. This has been a very unscripted voiceover, so I'm hoping it makes sense. This is the what's that? The grip wig cap? I've been loving it. It's been so good. And oh my goodness, the wig that I'm about to put on, this is the sensational Letitia wig. This went super viral on TikTok and I absolutely love it. It's synthetic, and today I went out and all the girlies were like, this literally looks like your hair. And I was like, oh my god, perfect. I mean, you do have to really put in some elbow grease in when you're brushing it, but it sits on so beautifully. I hardly had to tint the lace. I didn't do any plucking. I just like cut it, and I did cut it like the length because it came very long, and I just love it in this length. And it's just a beautiful, easy, put it on and go everyday wig. Also, let me know what you think about the voiceovers. I feel like I like them because if I don't do a voiceover, I will chat for far too long, and what could have been 10 minutes ends up being like 20 to 30 minutes. Look at how beautiful this is, and it actually does wear very well when you go out. You don't need to brush it or like detangle it, and it works really beautifully. So this is the finished makeup look. Let me know if you like it. I think orange anything on a black girl is perfect, but orange blush, I stopped doing it. I used to do it a little bit a while ago, but then I stopped doing it, and now I'm obsessed because it looks so beautiful. Anyway, bye. Also, let me know what kind of makeup look you'd like me to try next time.